How's it going, guys? I'm here to review Silent Rage 1982.
Damn fighters! You call the police?
Not me, boss.
Nobody call the police. He must be a mirage.
This kick-ass movie stars Chuck Norris, and this movie literally kicks ass. This movie's about a character named John Kirby. One day he just snaps and he goes on a murder spree. He kills his wife. He tries killing his children. Of course, there comes the sheriff, played by Chuck Norris, Sheriff Dan. And Sheriff Dan comes in the middle of the crime scene, just tries to arrest John, but John's not going down without a fight. So there's like a small fight scene, a chase scene, and eventually Dan arrests him. But he puts him in the cop car. John somehow has superhuman strength, just pretty much I kind of say Michael Myers strength in a way. So because John Kirby, his character totally reminds me of Michael Myers. Like one day he just snaps, kills his whole family, doesn't talk, and he's just like a walking death pretty much. He's just unstoppable. So as he escapes the police officer's car, all the other officers, they just shoot him down and he's dead. So they bring John Kirby's body to the morgue with these scientists, and these scientists inject him with some kind of like serum that can pretty much not only bring him back to life, but give him like superhuman strength. He can regenerate, he can self-heal. Pretty much he's like an unstoppable killing machine.
The master fighter of our time. But not even he could imagine the power of the indestructible man he is about to face.
And as he turns on the scientists and starts killing everybody else, like literally John Kirby is literally on a killing spree. He's just murdering everyone he sees with no soul, no compassion, just no emotion pretty much. And it's up to Sheriff Dan, played by Chuck Norris, to stop him once and for all. This movie kicks ass. I love this movie. This is an early 80s horror / action thriller type movie. And this movie is really, really dope. This movie kind of reminds me, like I said, of Halloween. And it does give me like Reanimator vibes, especially when doctors are trying to bring back the dead back to life with some kind of like weird formula or syringe. So that totally reminds me of Reanimator a lot. And the reason why it reminds me of Halloween, because of John Kirby's introduction, like his opening sequence is how he murders his wife and how he has no soul about it. And then later on in the middle of the movie, you see his POV grabbing the kitchen knife. It totally reminded me of Halloween. And of course, all the fight scenes with Chuck Norris is badass. I mean, at times it looks kind of ridiculous, but dude, that's the beauty with these 80s action movies, like these over-the-top ridiculous action moments that like really kicks ass. And Chuck Norris was he's a badass in this movie. He really is a badass.
A creation of science whose only thought is to survive.
There's a scene in this movie where he's with his partner and they have to stop a motorcycle gang attacking, terrorizing bar. So pretty much he kicks every one of these members' ass in the bar, which is really dope. He literally stops a motorcycle from jumping out of the window too. It's slow motion. It's really epic. But yes, there are some good characters. It has a good score, like a creepy 80s slasher type of score. And speaking of slasher, the kills in this movie are pretty well done. Some of the kills are pretty good, and some of the kills are over the top. Some of the kills are kind of bland, so some of the kills are just a mix of like what you expect in a typical slasher movie, but it still holds up nicely for not just a slasher movie, but for an action movie as well. So I highly enjoy this movie, and I highly recommend this movie, especially if you guys are a Chuck Norris fan. This movie is free on Tubi, so search it up, check it out on Tubi, because this movie will not disappoint you. This is one of those movies that like you'll probably never see, but once you found out, like you watched it, you're like, oh, I'm glad I watched it, because it was something different that you like probably haven't seen before. So this movie kicks ass, so I would rate this movie a solid 8.5 out of 10. This movie was good. It's a classic. It's one of those movies that you have to see. It really kicks ass. I love this movie. So that was my quick review of Silent Rage 1982. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Now, Chuck Norris must destroy him.
Dan, watch out!
In a final battle to the death and beyond. Silent Rage.